There's the links between the two matrix switches. There's two fibre links out of the matrix and into the each display. There's what the DMC, RMC. Basically, it's just like a small room controller, and on each one of those, you've got the digital media that comes in. There's also a network port on it, as well as video output, HDMI video output, and some RS-232. So, in this case, that's, which is, I don't know if you do look at the drawings, if you compare, because the digital media, all the control is sent over the fibre. The only way, if you look at these drawings to see where the control is at, it doesn't really, like, you've got the RS-232 popping out of here, but there's no real direct link back to the processor. So you just need to bear that in mind. If you're going to look for where that's coming out, you need to go back over to the video schematic to see where it actually feeds through. The other thing is that we've got the Rack 2, which is for the everything in here. So it's basically the control processor for everything in here. And then we've got the AV2 with an Ethernet card in it, which is purely for the meeting room. So if you find that the meeting room's not working, but this is working, then you've got to be looking at that to see if you've got any power issues. If you find that the meeting room's working okay, but the experience centre's not, then you want to be looking at this. You've got plenty of little buttons in front to go for that. I don't see you really need that, to be honest. Either works or it doesn't. You can reboot it. This is the power supply.
Would it be easier if we did have a label on it, or is it quite easy from the schematics to tell what one's what?
Well, the big one, the Pro, is for the CEC, and then there's the
meeting room. Right, okay, yes, cool,
so,
yeah.
I mean, you could label it up for the CEC, I suppose, but it does say Rack 2. But, yeah, if you did want to reset it, you've got the hardware reset and the software reset. You find that the iPad's not responding. If you reboot that, then it takes the boot process on the Crestron's for the iPad interface is about 30 seconds. So if the power's cut to this and it's booting back up, you won't get anything on the iPads for about 30 seconds.
Will it also connect?
It will, yeah. It just basically as part of its initialization, waits for everything to kind of settle down, and then it just goes, give me all the information you got. It does that, and then at 60 seconds, the audio flexes. We've got 3 of these, which I haven't mentioned yet. That's basically processing all the audio. These are all networked together on their own network. In here, we've got a network switch. Basically, all the audio flex stuff. There's some CobraNet, what they call the CobraNet, which handles all the digital audio. So basically, when the first processor has got all the inputs, and then the second 2 has got all the outputs, but they share all the processing power amongst themselves, and they send the audio over the CobraNet network. So that is purely for the CobraNet. So if there's any problems with audio in any of the rooms, like if there's absolutely none, I'd probably be tempted to be looking at this network switch and make sure that's on, because if that's on, you're going to get absolutely nothing out of it. But again, back to the Crestron, it takes 60 seconds for the Crestron to actually initialize itself with that. So after 60 seconds, then so if there's a power cut, or if you're in the room and somebody turns the processor on and off, and then you start trying to use it. After the iPad's synced up, there's 30 seconds before you can get any of the audio on that. Yeah, so that's the most of it. This is the main AV switch. Sorry, that's the WAP switch, the managed switch.
Is that full wireless, is it?
Yeah.
All the AP points.
Yeah, they're all above the ceiling as well. I had a few issues with problems for 10 hours more PC. Using iPads to control these PCs. The response time is too much. They're trying to send too much video content over the wireless onto the iPads. So they pulled all the amount of colours down on the VNC, and Nathan's looking at some other things to kind of improve it. And there's your main network switch for all the AV. Initially that was set up as 2 VLANs, one for the CobraNet and one for the AV network. But that's now being changed because he has some problems. It's just been as good as we get around also. Do you want 2 physical separate networks? Yes. Yeah. So definitely the CobraNet stuff, basically because CobraNet takes up so much bandwidth, if you put it onto any network, everything just stops. It just, you end up missing packets when you ping stuff or all that kind of stuff. all a bit crazy. The audio, come back here. Like I said, we've got the three biamps. One's acting as all the inputs, so it's taking a feed. There's 4 feeds from the digital media coming into here, and then all the PCs go directly into it. And there's also a feed from the X-Dex comes in here, and then all the outputs into each room. They're absolutely gazillions of speakers and woofers. Basically, in each group, we've got one of the amps. So the 5 amps. There they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They pretty much look after each zone. So again, if you come in here and there's no audio in the lounge, and you find that is off.
That's why.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that will stop.
We need to be able to lock this door and not let any Vodafone come in, don't we?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, it's. I mean, that kind of stuff. It's if there's no lights on it, turn it on.
Yeah.
It'll work. Yeah, it is one. It is pretty much from top to bottom, one through whatever. But I think there is a label machine about. You can put that on. Lots of mid ranges, and then there's 2 subs in each room. If you go out in the rooms, look at the ceiling. There's a bigger speaker, which is obviously the woofer. So there's 2 in each one. And this one. So zone 1 does actually cross over into the second amp, because there are more speakers in the lounge than there are anywhere else. So in the problem area, it doesn't cross over. Zone 1 is all covered under that amp. Yeah, so it is pretty much. And then there's the phonic for the meeting room.
So everything from the Crestron down there's in the meeting room?
Pretty much, yeah. So you've got your, like I said, your typical Extron switcher. The sound structure, the handling the telephone conferencing, the video conferencing audio, and then the phonic again. So
Where's
that's
the
audio.
codec?
The codec is Tambo.
Oh right, okay, cool.
A little slip of a thing.
You still got the iPad?
I have. It's just in. Yeah.
So what's the Polycom bit doing? Is that the mixer for the mics?
Yeah, it's DSP, so it's basically just mixing it all up. There's on the table in there. There's 3 Shure mics. 2 of them have got. Since I've got the schematics in hand. Oh no, they're all dual cartridge ones. So each mic pod on the table. There's 2 mics facing in. So cardioid picking all that stuff up. Yeah, so again, if you've got no audio coming out of the speakers in the meeting room, that's your first place to look. If the control system goes down, you can take control of the switching here and on the display, so just make sure that the display's on the right input and then switch them through.
So obviously we've got a manual override for the meeting room. Have we got any manual overrides for the rest of the areas?
Yep, so on the Matrix,
That's a nice feature, that. Baby.
again, what we've got on here, on the digital matrix, it is just a standard kind of matrix switcher anyway. So you've got the root button. If you hit that, I need to get out of the installers. Yeah, so if you hit the root button, it lights up. You can choose audio, video, USB. You want to switch, just ignore that. And say you wanted to change 6, which I know is the one out there. It tells you what PC it is. All this is actually, all the feedback to the panels is coming from the matrix switcher. So if you come in here and change the input name on the matrix switcher, it will mimic that on the control panel. So that's if they ever want to change it, because at the moment they're using a tough book over on that one, so they want to be able to, you know, just change it all around however they want. So if I get back out of here and I press 6, oh, hang on, view. Yeah. So if you hit the view button, you can see where everything's kind of switched at the moment. So if you want to see where input 1 is going, it's not going anywhere. So at the moment 2 is going to 2, 3 is going to 3, 4 is going to 8, 5 to 6,